Hello everyone, welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Rajni and today we are diving into a topic that many of you have been asking about. How to stop translating in your head. If you have ever found yourself stuck translating every word from your native language into English, then this video is just for you. After watching this video, you will learn practical strategies to help you think directly in English, making your speech faster, more fluent and more natural. So without any further delay, let's dive in. First of all, why do we translate in our head? It is very natural, especially for beginners. Because when you start learning a new language, your brain is still wired to your native language. Which is why when you are in a conversation, you naturally want to translate from your native language to English. But this process slows you down. As well as when you try to translate word to word from your native language to English, it sometimes leads to incorrect translation. In short, translating in your head can become a big obstacle to speaking fluently. So how you can completely eradicate it? How you can speak fluently and confidently without making any translation in your head? Let's see. First of all, start thinking in chunks, not individual words. Now, what do I mean by chunks? Instead of trying to translate word for word, focus on phrases or expressions that carry meaning as a whole. For example, instead of thinking something in your native language and then translating each word, start memorizing and using the whole phrase, which will make you speak faster and more fluent. Some of the useful example phrases are, I want to go to the market. I need to take a day off. That makes sense. I always mess it up. I'll be right back. Write down common phrases you use every day and practice them until you automatically think of phrases without translating. This practice will train your mind to think in English, which will reduce the need to translate. Coming to tip number 2, immerse yourself in English as much as possible. The more you are surrounded by English, the more your brain gets used to processing it directly. Watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, read English books. It is like learning to swim by jumping into the water. The more you expose yourself to English, the more your brain will start thinking in English naturally. You can even talk to yourself in English. I know it sounds a bit odd, but trust me, it works. Describe what you are doing in English. Talk about your day and even plans for the next week. This conversation helps you practice thinking in English without the pressure of speaking to someone else. Moving on to the next tip. Find a speaking partner or join an English conversation group. Speaking with others forces you to think in English and respond on the spot. You won't have time to translate because the conversation keeps moving forward. Don't worry about making mistakes because your goal here is to practice thinking directly in English. If you don't have someone to practice with, there are many online platforms where you can find language exchange partners. By practicing regularly in a conversational settings, it will help you to break the habit of translating in your head. Coming to the next tip, build your vocabulary through context. When you learn new words, don't just memorize their translation. Instead, learn how to use them in sentences. For example, if you learn a word excited, practice it in different sentences. For example, I am excited to watch the movies. She was excited about her new job. It helps you understand the word in context. So the next time when you need to use it, your brain won't need to search for the translation because it knows how to use it. Make it a habit of thinking in English every day. Start from small. When you wake up in the morning, try to describe your plans for the day in English. When you see an object, think of its name in English. Gradually increase the time you spend thinking in English each day. Over time, you will become used to it. You will find yourself thinking in English without even realizing it. So make it a daily habit and soon you will notice a big difference in your fluency level. Now before we wrap up, I want to remind you that language learning is a journey and every step forward is progress. So keep practicing using these tips consistently and gradually you will find yourself thinking in English more naturally. The key is consistency. The more you practice, the better you get. Don't forget to celebrate your success, no matter how small it may seem.